What's going on there, guys? All right, I just want to do a quick video. Saturday night, I'm kind of cleaning up my shop for the night. Actually, for the whole week. I've been doing a couple projects here, but I just want to talk about the Milwaukee 18-volt shop vac real quick. Now, if you watched my video probably a month ago, I kind of did a duel with the Milwaukee and the Ridgid 18-volt cordless shop vacs. I did one on the DeWalt probably a year ago. I really didn't like that one. If you have to choose between the Milwaukee, the Ridgid, or the DeWalt, I would definitely choose the Milwaukee or the Ridgid over the DeWalt. Not saying that it's really that bad. I mean, it'll probably do 80% of what you need it to do, but it just didn't have the power of the Ridgid and the Milwaukee. It had a real nice setup. I really liked the way it was set up. It just didn't have the power. But anyway, I want to talk about the Milwaukee real quick because during that duel, if you had to ask me what one is more powerful, which one, kind of would I rather have, I said the Ridgid. And power-wise, the Ridgid is better than the Milwaukee. If you're using it for just pure sucking power, it's definitely a more versatile, only with sucking power than a Milwaukee. It just has more power. The major reason for that, I think, like I said, was the hose. It's just so small, and things can get clogged up in here just more often than with the Ridgid. CFM wise or anything like that, sucking power wise, they might be the same. I'm not really sure, but this is the main culprit of, I believe, the Ridgid just being a better vac. Sucking wise, vacuuming wise. But the reason I want to bring up the Milwaukee is because I think in the workshop, though, this Milwaukee is definitely a more versatile vac. Now, if they somehow, well, I can tell you anyway, what the hell. Milwaukee is working on a new vac right now, a new cordless vac. Should be out. They're saying fall, but, who knows? It's up in the air. I also want to talk about, real quick before I do this, the Ridgid 6 and 9 amp hour batteries. Okay? They're going to be Bluetooth capable. So you're going to have pretty much one key if you're going to want to go by the Milwaukee, or if you want to go by the DeWalt's kind of system. They're going to be Bluetooth enabled. So, if you lose your battery somewhere, it's going to be able to tell you the runtime, what's left on the battery, how many charges the battery has done. Just crazy stuff like dates. It's going to be something. When he was telling me the TTI rep, I just found this out a couple of days ago. I asked him about it, but supposedly, I asked him, I'm like, is there going to be, a Bluetooth battery and a non-Bluetooth battery? And he says no. Every battery is going to be Bluetooth enabled. So, like I said, it's going to have a lot of different capabilities. You're going to be able to see how much power is left on the battery, how many charges the battery has, warranty stuff. Just, obviously if you lose it somewhere, you can't find it, or if it's stolen, you're going to be able to, find where it is and stuff. So that's that, because a couple people asked me about that. So that's the Ridgid thing. But anyway, so in the workshop or on a job, this Milwaukee, like I said, it doesn't have the power of the Ridgid, but I think it's a more versatile vac. You can use this. The way that this is set up, it's kind of like a toolbox here, if you guys know who have it. I've used this in so many different ways beyond a vac. Like, you really can't do it with the Ridgid or the DeWalt. That's what makes this Milwaukee shop vac, I think, a little bit better for the workshop. Like I said, I've cut wood on this thing. I use it as a step stool. I mean, I'm not saying you should go out if you're 250 pounds and be standing on this, but I'm sure you'd actually be fine. But I stand on this. I use this as a step stool. I sit on this. I do some jobs where, I'm doing like flooring or something. And I'm actually sitting on this thing. Like I said, cutting wood. It's just a really really, to have with you. You can do more things with it. Now, obviously, you should have the proper stuff. You should, if you're cutting a lot of wood, you're not going to be using a shop vac to cut your wood. Or, if you're going to be, you know, painting a ceiling or whatever, you want a ladder. But this is just cool because you can do stuff with it when you're in a crunch, or when you're in a bad situation, or whatever. You have to use something. It just I really like that about this shop vac, and I'm really excited for the next one. I hope that it's pretty much the same setup. Now, I don't know what way they're going with it. I haven't seen what it looks like or anything, but that what they really just need to do, man, is make these hoses a little bit bigger so stuff doesn't get in there. And I really haven't had anything get stuck in here, to be honest with you. But with the stuff that I did on that little challenge face-off type of thing, that was kind of the issue. But it still did everything. You just gotta poke it through. But anyway, I'm running out of time here. But just a short vid on a Saturday night. And, like I said, check out the website. Tell us what your favorite 12-volt platform is. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.